All right, number 2. Determine the domain and range of the function g of x equals negative sine squared x. To type in sine squared x, we can't just type in the calculator sine squared and then the x. It doesn't work in that order. The way we're going to have to do this is the calculator will make it look like this. It puts in parentheses automatically, and you do the squared. What you'll have to do is put the squared here on the outside. Now, if this confuses you, you can put a parenthesis around all this to make sure that you don't square the negative away. But that's how it should look right there. Let's go to our calculator, and let me clear this from our previous problem. And so I go to the graph, and the value is negative sine x, and we need to square this. Now when I hit enter, I get this picture. Now why does this make sense? Now I'm going to remind you what sine's graph looks like. Sine normally fluctuates between -1 and 1 as far as the range is concerned. Now, if we squared it like we have in the blue here, squaring it takes away all the negatives, so all these points become positive. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to change this graph, the sine x graph, and I'm going to square it. And what you're going to see is all these valleys, these negative valleys, are going to become positive hills. See how they square up? And it's fluctuating this way. Now, what made it negative was on this blue equation, it has a negative out front, and that's why it's not positive values, but negative. So my domain appears to go forever to the left and right. The range has a lowest point of 1, a highest point of 0. So I can go back and write my answer as, I'll say the domain. I'm going to run out of room. I'll just write over here. Domain is from left to right forever, so you'd say x all reals, or you could write it as negative infinity to positive infinity in parentheses. And the range, you could write as saying the lowest value is -1, which is less than or equal to our y's, which is less than or equal to 0. Or you could write it this way. We touch -1, so it's a bracket, and we touch 0, the highest point, so it's also a bracket. So you could write them these two ways.